Is it working now? Do you hear anything yet? Do you hear anything yet? No sound, and actually I don't. Oh, great. Good. Do you see me now? I'm waving my hand over my desk because I'm not seeing anything. Thanks, Linda, for answering. Let me know when you can see me holding up something to the camera. Huh. This is crazy. I'm live and yet I'm not. I don't get it. This is why I don't stream much, because I never know what it's doing. Great. I'm going to stop the stream and start it over. It's the only thing I know to do. I still am not seeing anything. I don't know what to do. Unknown error. I'm still trying if you can hear me, but not see me. I did this before the other week and it worked. So I'm not really sure. Camera's working. So maybe you guys will be able to see me soon. Yes, you can see me. All right. So hopefully you guys can see me now and hear me. I'm not using StreamYard, I'm using ManyCam. No offense to anybody who uses StreamYard, but when there's more than one person, I get lost. So can you see me now and hear me now, Linda? Or maybe you left. Well, anyway, my friends that I go home and craft with periodically were unable to craft because the library canceled all in-person meetings, so they lost their meeting room and they had to cancel. So apologize if that got loud. Had to run some water. Had to get my brayer rinsed off. And I bought a bunch of Lavinia stamps, which are a lot of fairies and whatnot. So if anybody is watching, I think I worked it out. I can see my hands moving now. If only you can hear me, then we're good. Yep, it's on. The sound's on. Let me know. Hello to everybody. If you would just say hi in the chat so that I would know that you're here and that you can hear me. So if you can hear me, please let me know. Please say hi in the chat so I can know that people can see and hear me, and then we'll get started with what I planned. I bought a lot of Lavinia stamps and I wanted to play with them. Hi Piccola, thank you for coming. I bought a lot of Lavinia stamps, but what I wanted to do today was play with their technique for a background. And what they do, just going to chat a minute. What they do is they use some Brush-Os that they've liquefied and a fan brush. So if you wanted to play along and you have these supplies, a brayer, and some dye ink. So I'm gaining an audience. That's good. I can't see who's here because I'm looking at chat on my iPad and not my phone. Or not my actual computer. This is a 5x7 gel plate. I don't remember which brand. I took it out of the case and put it away to kind of get things a little neater. So I got a deal at Tonic. Talk about that while some more people join us. And be sure and set yourself to 720p in the settings, wherever they are on your screen, so that you can see up close. And they had like a warehouse sale, and they had half off, and I bought all new scissors because my scissors were getting old and unsharp. And even though I had sharpened them with the Fiskars scissor sharpener, they still weren't any better. And this was a good deal. I think these were like $2. This one might have been the most expensive one, maybe at like $9. And the rest of them were somewhere in between. And as you know, as crafters, we really need sharp scissors. So if you're here and you're watching this on YouTube, watching the recording later, I'm talking to people who are in the live chat. Hopefully when this uploads, you'll be able to click on live chat and see what we were actually talking about. And I'm going to kind of get started. I like gloves for this because I don't like my hands to look inky. And Brush-Os will stain your hands pretty good. So the first thing you need to do for this technique, I've got some dye inks, and what I have is Stampin' Up. I'm not a demonstrator. I was a customer for many years, and you brayer it on. So what I'm doing is rolling the brayer back and forth to get it nice and full. And then I'm going to brayer that on to my jelly plate. I know it's hard to see, and I really should test. I'm going to test this ink pad because, like I said, it's inking. It's going to be very pale. That's kind of what I want for this technique because I really want the Brush-Os to do the majority of the work. Hi, Colleen. So, Piccola is Helen. Hello. I can't swear that I'll know your name next time, but I'll at least try it for this time. Put my nice card Janet made me up there. And then what you do is with the fan brush, I'm going to wet it. And I like how it fanned itself out, but not real evenly, because then when I dip it in here, this is some red Brusho, and just going to find a piece of paper to put under here, something white, so that you guys can see what is actually going on. There we go. So hopefully you can see some of the drops. And I might, if I remember how to work the camera, zoom in some. Yep. There we go. Zoom in some. And I'm taking this and I'm rinsing it in my water. And I'm going to get another color. So I'm going to use the yellow Brusho, which is called Lemon. And I know that because I can see the label. I took my Brushos out of their containers and put them in these containers. And I have a green. This might make mud, so maybe I'll limit the green up near the top where I've only got the yellow, mostly. Close up my ink pad. Well, and take a piece of paper and press it on. We'll see what we get. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Sarah. For those of you, we're playing with Brushos and a technique from Lavinia Stamps, so it's not something I made up. Let's see if we got anything. Yeah, so then you get these really cool backgrounds that you can use for other things. So what I've learned from this one, being the very first one, is I think I want a little more Brushos on top of the blue so that it spreads out a little more. So let's do it again. So we're going to ink up with our brayer. Can't really see it, but there is, that was the blue background. And then we have a fan brush. And I'm going to try for those same colors, but I'm going to start with the green. I'm going to be a little more generous with the Brushos. Start with the green, rinse my brush off, go to the yellow, and I'm just tapping it on. Rinse the brush, get some red. Stay away from the green with the red. Rinse the brush. Waste not, want not, didn't really like that one. Gonna use the back side of it. They aren't liquid Brush-Os. I liquefied them. They're dry, just like the others. And I put them in the container and put water on them. I like that better. I'd still like a little more water. It might be because of the cardstock I'm using, because they used the card and it sort of blended more. Let me step away for a moment and get some coated cardstock. And I'll be right. Just give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm coming. What I've got now is some chrome coat cardstock. So let's try it once again, and we'll be able to compare if it's the cardstock. I've ordered some of Lavinia Stamps multifarious cardstock, but it hasn't come across the pond yet. And they use Colorbox, and I thought, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that Colorbox, was the supplier for Stampin' Up's inks back in the day. We will see. We will see. For comparison's sake, I'm going to do it the same way. Start with the green at the bottom. Rinsing my brush. Go into the yellow. Gonna overlap the green with the yellow this time. And red and yellow. And overlap the red with the yellow. And then because I want some, well, I'm not gonna do that yet. So here we go. Let's see if it was the cardstock. Maybe it's the cardstock. At any rate, I'm liking them both. This cardstock is not as thick as the paper tray, so it's buckling. So it'll be cool to get some of their cardstock and then see if I can find a source that I like here in the States, so I don't have to get it from everywhere. So let me put them side by side so we can see. This one's the coated cardstock, and this one's the paper tray ink cardstock. Can I try this on deli paper? Yep. Let's do it. This is the deli paper from Sam's that used to be cheap, but then they doubled the price. I'm gonna switch colors. I'm gonna go with this green. Green. Like a little more green. Some bigger drops. Change up colors. I'm gonna go with this blue. And I've got a purple. Get some more purple. That's not coming off the brush like I want. Just to live dangerously a little bit of the purple down there at the bottom. How about some clear water? Just over everything. Alright. Now I'm trying to see. This side is the side that I'm going to place down is coated. The next time we'll try it the other way. It's coming through the deli paper. But I really like it. This was what I was hoping to see on the other papers. I think that's really pretty. Oh yeah. Looks like I have some left over, so I'm gonna get it. Yeah, that's so true, Eileen. They doubled this one for the price of what I got 5 boxes for. You could buy one, so they more than doubled it. That's a great start. Kind of looks like a meadow. I like that green, so I'm gonna stay with it. Same colors or different ones? Start with a little water. And then I haven't used yellow. Well, yes I have. I don't know. Anyway, I'm using it. And more. I have like 1,000 brushes, but I can only find one fan brush. This is orange. Might be a mistake with the orange over the green. Yeah, we'll see. These, I'm having the hardest time closing them. I want this one. I'm going to put this one over the top of this one. Might be a horrible... No, not as horrible as I thought. I kind of like it. There's none left. I have a yellow. But I think I better rinse off this brayer. Orange. Red. I'm going to live dangerously and go purple. Try and stay away, a little bit away from the orange. And some plain water, which is probably dirty by now. I'm going to go back to the original paper tray paper and see if rubbing it spreads the ink out and the brush shells out. It did, but bad color choices. But maybe when it gets stamped over, it'll look better. And yellow. Let's stay away from the purple this time. Green. Yellow and blue. And these are brushes that I just liquefied, so they don't come that way. Use the deli paper again. I like that on the deli paper. Really nice springtime background. I'm going to put some more yellow, because I still see some down there. And then I'm going to use a piece of paper. Hi, Sherry. Jackie. It's Jackie. And hi, CB. Is it dye, ink, or pigment? It's dye. The Stampin' Up! Inks, these are dye. Subtle, but I like it. I can use it over again to get it more saturated if I want to. Go back to the blue. That's what it is. So I have blue. I can have purple. I'll have blue. And I'll have red. And some plain water, just to get more. Get a blend going. And we'll use my original paper tray paper and do a little of that. See what happens. Too much water, I think. Not enough splotchage. But who knows what it'll look like when it dries. Again, like I said, this was a let me mix another Brusho, and you can see. Let's see if I can come in. Yep. So this one is Brusho Ultramarine. And I just put them in here because I got sick of the containers that they had. Okay. So this one has a thicker granule. I don't know how to say it. closing it up because I do not want to spill it. And I have distilled water in here. And that's about what I do. There really is no exact measurement. And then I just stir it up. That says it's ultramarine, but it sure looks purpley. But we will use it here in a minute. I'm gonna zoom back out. So I got yellow on there. This says it's ultramarine, but it really looks like it is purple. But I see the blue. Yellow. More yellow. And we'll do a little red. Just a little red. And I'm going to try and use the cardstock that is coated. I think I like it. Let's do some more with the jelly paper. The deli paper. Not the jelly paper, but might as well be. That's what I use it for. Now, before I do the jelly paper, I want to try it in my journal. If I can find it. This one's a watercolor paper. Let's see what it does on the watercolor paper. Set that aside and be at the ready. I did yellow. I'm going to do orange. Yellow, orange, and red. So I know that doesn't make mud. And here we go. Oh, can I talk louder? Can you guys hear me now? Where did I get the pan with the lids? The snowball is up as high as it can go. I will try to project. Yep, I did. I got it from Amazon. Oh, I like it on the watercolor paper. I do. What do you guys think? I think this is the best paper. Out of the, well, other than the deli paper. I like the deli paper. I don't know how to make the snowball louder. It says it's all the way up. So, is it better now? I found some other setting. Hopefully that did it. Hopefully. Yep, I like this the best. So maybe a Lavinia Stamps multifarious card is more like watercolor paper. A little better. Dang. Well, it would take me a long time to move it down. Let's see if there's some settings. One moment, please. Okay. That should maybe get it louder. Pretend I'm yelling at you. Oh, you really don't want to do that. Want me to do that? I can really project. Many people don't know this about me, but I do a lot of public speaking. That's what I'd rather say. And I can really project without a microphone. But I try not to do that when at ever possible. So, yeah. So, oh, I like that. Let's try some blues. And there's still some left on there. Let's see if we can pick it up here at the top where it didn't quite catch anything. Yep. Was able to get a little bit, and there's still some. Yep. I might fill this book up. All right. I think there's some still on there. So where's an ugly one? To me, this one's an ugly one. So I'm going to lay it back down and pick up what's left over. It actually kind of helped it. I like the little dots. That's what I was looking for. And I'm seeming to get that the best in that journal, on the watercolor paper. So yellows, blues, and greens this time. And some yellow, because it mixes well with both of them. Clean water. And oh, it ran. So no clean water next time. Too wet. Noise pollution. I'm going to hit this with a heat dryer so I can put it back over it and catch some dots. Mop up. Yep, I got a little dottage. Hopefully the sound is okay. Oh yeah, I got a little lift off kind of dottage down there. Loving it on this paper. Again, this is the Strathmore 140-pound watercolor paper and cold press. Like it, like it, like it. Yes. Let's do a blue. What colors with this blue? Here's Eileen's chance to boss me. Yeah, and I imagine this would work with things other than brush hose. You know, like the Ken Oliver things and green and orange. Orange will turn the blue brown because these will mix. So I did two blues, a lighter and a darker. And in the open spot, okay, I will give you the orange. And then I'll give you the green. So I'm pretty sure that orange will turn brown. And this time I am not going to do any additional water. I like it. And since there's some down there still, I can do this top. Yep. Love it. And on the one I don't like so much, get the rest. It's making this one better and better. Let's look at it some more. Yep, it's getting better. Heat gun. So I was heat gunning it. And then I'm going to take this one and get the Lavinia stamps and try that. But first, because otherwise it'll be a large mess, I'm going to cover these up. One moment. Okay, so I'm out as far as I can go. And set that aside. And this is how I generally store my stamps in binders like this. But the Lavinias have the index a little different. So, and if it's an unmounted single type stamp, I can just put it like that. I may use this one. And that's some clouds. I may use that one. These are pink something other that are really cute. That reminds me of somebody's bunny. And then I got this large stamp with a magazine. Magazine's gone, stamps are here. And then this is a Lavinia stamp. Oh, there's like a serious glare, so I'm trying to hold that up a little bit. Houses. And so I had to put them on backwards so that I could see what they were. So they're going to flop, which is not normally the way I do things in these books. So these, Joggles was selling these, and I took the opportunity to add to my collection. So hopefully I'm not blinding you too much with the glare. And they're just so cool. So after I show them, I'm going to set them off to the side. Fairies, fairies, fairies. Bunnies. Little fairies. Little flora and fauna. Yep, and that's that. So I'm going to set them off to the side and then just pick from them. So you guys won't necessarily be able to see that. And we'll bring this back and make it a little flat. Nope, make it a little flatter. There we go. Get it on camera. And I'm going to use VersaFine Clair to stamp the first fairy. Got my block here. This one is called Celeste. Normally I am taking off the gloves because I shouldn't need them for this. Normally I use like my Misty. And I'm going to want her up in the air a little bit. And Lavinia says to let it rest. We'll see. Hopefully, not having my Misty, this will come out good. She said, let it rest. I'm going to try. I'm the impatient stamper. Impatient a lot. Did it come? No, it didn't. And watercolor paper, not as smooth. So I am going to endeavor to line it back up. I'm going to be sorry. It might be off camera because I need to see where I'm going. Yep, I got her off out of line, but oh well. Yep, I messed her up, but I can fix that, and I will. Take some of my usual stamping cardstock, and I'll just have to fussy cut her. Let it rest. Yep. And so she's pretty perfect. And those nice tonic scissors. This will not be a lesson in fussy cutting because I am by no means a great fussy cutter. I have to be quiet, sort of, to fussy cut, or else I will cut something off. So talk amongst yourselves. These are a little small for my fingers. I'm going to go with these. Spring cut, which will help too. Spring type scissors. For those of you who came late, I got a bunch of new scissors from the Tonic warehouse sale a few weeks ago. These are fast becoming one of my favorites. So I can't see what's going on in chat, because I have to keep my eye on the paper. Look at chat. I know, I love the fairy stamps. from Lavinia Stamps. Not affiliated, just a happy customer. What? Yeah, this one is called, I believe, Celeste. And it's really detailed. Get all the strands of the hair and all of that. Sorry, I know it's like watching paint dry. But this was a live video, so I didn't have the ability to speed it up and show you like the magic of television version. And I didn't know I was going to need one cut out, so I didn't do it ahead of time. There she is. And I got a bunch of these from AliExpress. And I don't want her to look all out of place, so I'm going to hit her with the yellow. So she doesn't stick out. And she's gonna anyway, because she's bright yellow. And everything else was more muted. So then, what I'm gonna do is hit her with a little bit of blue. Hopefully tone that down some. Yep, it's doing something, but different paper, different inks. She'll be fine. Let's glue her down. This is Art Glitter Glue. Does not contain glitter. It is for gluing down glitter, but it makes a fabulous glue for everything else. Let that set on her for a while. I am going to get out my Misty since this is cold pressed watercolor paper. The way I'm going to get it out the book so that I can put it back is to snip in between. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like you guys can see me. Looks like I lost transmission. Looks like I lost transmission. Can you guys actually see me? Or do I need to restart? Do I need to restart? Because I'm not seeing anything on my side. But it says I'm showing. Are you guys seeing? Now I've got an unknown error again. I'm trying. Yep. Okay. I think I'm back. And I have gotten my Misty because I don't want to have any other need to fussy cut going forward. I'm going to use this stamp, which is from Stampers Anonymous and Wendy Becky. That's about all I can tell you because I don't tend to keep packaging. And I need to take out the foam that comes in the Misty because this has its own foam. And let's see how this gets in here. I'm moving it around so you guys can see me. I'm going to zoom out. I'm not sure why it won't let me. It let me zoom in, but it will not let me zoom out. But anyway, here we are. I think you can see me with a whole lot of glare, and I apologize for that. This way, if it doesn't stamp well for me, I'll have a second opportunity. I'll have more opportunities. A hand there, knock off some of the glare. So it did get, do want to do it again. So the glare, it's not tremendous from the Misty. Now I have a nice rich stamping of that stamp. Then I want to clean it. I just use water and a rag. Okay. And clean that. And then I took some acetate and cut some different size circles. I think the biggest one is 2 1/4. I used circle punches, and I think the biggest one will work for her. I lose things that I had right away. And so then I'm going to take another one of these, and I'm going to find a nice blue. This is Warm Breeze by VersaFine Claire. I'll come over this way so you can see a little better what I'm doing. Get some on here. Some of the back of these that I don't like, and take some off. Hope you can see that. And holding it in place with my hand, and I'm coming off the edges all around the fairy. So it's either a sun or a moon. Want a little more. You can always add more, but you can't take it away unless you use some gesso. Yeah, I like that now. And you can keep the acetate and just use it over and over. Wipe it off. I really wished I hadn't had to cut her out, because now she's like yellow. But I think I'm going to try like that Tim Holtz thing. Should have did that before I put her on there. I'm going to try and flick her with some water and lift some of that color. That might not work, but I'm hoping. It doesn't appear to have worked. Let's try it with the fan brush. Let it sit a minute, maybe even oh yeah, you could use that in so many things. Lavinia stamps, not my idea. Wish it were. So I have some clear Wink of Stella. Gonna get it going. Yep, it's going. And do something on our wings. Give them a little sparkle. I don't know how well we're going to be able to see it, but you never know. Sorry if my head got in the way. It's not doing much sparkle for me. Not enough for me. I'm looking for some sparkle pins that I have. This one is Spectrum Nouveau, and it says crystal clear, so maybe it'll be better than the Wink of Stella. Yep, I can already see the sparkle coming out of the pin. And I'm also going to go around the edge of the sun moon, because it can be whatever you decide it is. Whatever you decide it is. I hope you guys can still hear me. I'm going to have to figure out someplace new to keep my snowball, because it's actually up here. And of course I'm speaking down here, so that's not working too well. There's a little sparkle. And if I hadn't colored her all yellow, that would look better. Yes, that was an acetate, just like from some packaging that I had. Very similar to what I have here on my Misty. I just attached it on my Misty because sometimes you want to line things up before you stamp them down. And let's use some of the other stamps in the line to add some more things. This one is like a dangle, so I'm going to dangle it, but I want it to come off the page, start off the page. And I'm wondering if for the Lavinia, I think for the Lavinia stamps, I'm going to have to put these back. Put the foam back. Let it stay and set up. Yeah, I'll have to figure out where the blue snowball is. I'll have to figure out a new place for it. I'm going to be dismantling my studio tomorrow because we have to get a new furnace, and I sit by the furnace. You guys can probably hear it. And I'll figure out the microphone settings before I do this again. And here's where that acetate comes in handy. I just flipped it down, and then I can move this around and pick it up with my MISTI without getting ink on my page before I want to get ink on my page. Yep, the stamp is sort of hanging off, but it won't really matter. Won't damage it. And because it didn't press all the way, that's what I love about the MISTI. I can go right back in the same spot and get it. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. And pick it up and line it up. Because of the way it was hanging off, I'm going to need to use my hands to press it. Up at the top. There we go. And want some over here. And so that I don't have to fool with the hanging it off, hanging the stamp off, I'll hang the paper off the MISTI. So it's hanging out the MISTI, and this will be fine. The stamp will be all on the MISTI. Pick up the MISTI. I really don't want you to move. So I will move the mic before I do this again. I'll have to find, when I rebuild the studio, I will move the mic to where it's coming up at me instead of overhead. Let's see what we got. Take off all the... I'm liking it so far. How about some tiny bunnies down in the grass? So, move you around. Get some tiny bunnies. Get some tiny bunnies. I'm holding my head up now and speaking into the mic. Hopefully that's working better. Flipping to find the bunnies. Okay. Can't see him yet. As soon as I put some ink on him, you might be able to see him. That's the clearest spot for him right here, but he'll be looking away. And I sort of want him to be looking at the fairy. Maybe a bigger one. got a bigger one. And if I put him here, he'll be looking at her. Sorta. It's art. It doesn't have to make sense. I didn't see your question before, Colleen. Is that pen? Yeah, this is Spectrum Noir's glitter pen, and it's got a brush tip. I want to do the bunny again, make him a little darker. Maybe I'll hold and let him wait there a while. So has everybody gone to the grocery store in case they have to hunker down? Okay. Then it needs some words, which I'll have to do freehand. Yikes! Freehand. Freehand words. Oh, that's scary. Let's see. I have a carbon pen, platinum carbon pen, and I need a ruler because I'm sort of anal and I can never get anything straight. This is a cut-a-line. You could use it to cut and line things up. So I'm going to take one of the lines. Maybe I'll come in. The lines on the side and line it up with the edge of the paper. And maybe want my first word up here. And give myself a really pale line. And line it up again. Line it up again. Last word. I'm sort of weird. When I write, I have to write at an angle. Drove my teacher crazy when I was in elementary school. But she got over it. My grades suffered though. This is foligraphy, not calligraphy. I'm actually in a group of calligraphers who really know how to do it. But this is a handwriting I made up, an alphabet I made up, because my real handwriting sucks. So it says dance in the pale light. I'll just go back and darken up. Thicken up some of the lines. Then I'm going to hit this with the heat gun and erase those lines. Because the carbon ink is permanent when it's dry. Takes a minute to dry or else it will smudge. The advantages of it is I love the really fine tip. I also like that it's permanent when dry. And it's refillable. So I don't have to toss it away. Looking for my eraser. And there you are. I'm going to call it good. And I'm going to stick it back in my journal if I ever find where I put it. It's here somewhere. I'm notorious for doing things upside down. So let's turn it right side up. Yep. Goes right back in and stays. So there it is. Thanks everybody for coming and watching. I appreciate you guys playing along. I want you to stay safe in these troubling times. So we can, for my friends who are in the stamp group, they can stamp virtually. And we can still have play dates and stay safe. So as always, I leave you in the hands of the Creator. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.